People have a lot to say about the granny situation.
Look, I'm here for it, okay?
I think, well, I'm quite happy with it.
Don't knock it until you've tried it.
I mean, it's cold and raining.
It actually is. That's why I'm here.
I know.
I don't know. Right, the whole point we got this trailer was to be mobile and to have it at whoever's house who's busiest. So why didn't we think
Of putting it
it's
at your
harvest?
house.
Should we get the trailer down to Rebecca's?
You can take it back with you.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but do you know what? We've nearly finished harvest. It's been that shit.
It's just been crap.
Sheds are half empty. Got through it really quickly.
I feel really bad because we've been really wet, haven't we?
Yeah. Yes.
Wet and warm.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's a couple of fields which have, well, I say okay. I mean, massively down. But actually, it's been quite depressing.
What is it good for? Just grass?
Yeah.
That's it.
But the interesting thing is the sheep don't even like it. You know, they don't like it wet, do they?
No.
It's amazing how much ours thrived on the Sahara wastelands of
I'll
North
tell
Yorkshire.
you something what's different as well. Harvest times. Your plums are ready.
Oh.
Mine are not.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm looking at the microphone. Mine are not.
Ours are absolutely bloody delicious.
I've brought us some, but I don't think they were the most green
And
gauges.
they're not that elegant to eat on camera,
Well,
are
no,
they?
I just have been like, what do I do with the stone? Yeah.
Instead, you've given me a coffee with Jersey milk, literally, well, so rich. I can see it all.
That was a really romanticised way of saying there is fat floating on the top.
It's so rich. Oh, it's just delightful.
It's
Oh, it's
so
so
creamy.
extravagant.
No, there's fat floating on it. If you're on a diet, don't drink it. It is feral. You couldn't have it. I don't think I could have Jersey milk on my breakfast cereal.
Do you think?
It's just too much. It really is too much. And this is fresh this morning. I went out and got it, and I just think, yeah, I mean, look at it. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. No.
I mean, it does make for a nice coffee.
Oh yeah, we do buy milk from Aldi. Don't tell anyone. Like we do. We buy our milk.
Why do you do that? Why could you not? Why would you not be drinking? Because surely most dairy farmers literally. I mean, you see those videos of people.
No, they do. They just take a jug in every day.
Yeah.
And they just take it straight out of the tank. I think when we first got the cows, our tank has got an electronic switch to open the valve at the front. So older tanks have like just a tap basically that you can open a little bit and a bit of milk comes out so you can collect your jug. Ours would fire at the wall because the tap just goes psh and opens fully.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then also we didn't have any way of getting into the top of the tank. We need like a big long ladle, like a stainless steel ladle. It is doable.
Yeah.
We've just, it's habit as well.
Look,
isn't
you're
it?
supporting some other British dairy farmers.
I
else,
am.
You're doing your bit. Right, shall we get into today's episode?
Yes.
I genuinely, when were we last recording? Because we knew harvest was coming up, we
did 2 in 1, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a couple.
Yeah, we did. So it would have been a month ago.
Yeah. Ages.
A month ago, because this will be due out.
Yes.
You'll be listening to this 2 days after we've recorded it, which is quite soon, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for pushing it a bit fine. Let's hope it's not too chaotic.
It will be chaotic.
This is a thing, though. We've got to juggle actual farming with doing this, and it's not always easy to keep up.
I mean, let's be fair. We have done farming,
right.
But actually we've been gallivanting around the country.
Actually, that's what we're going to talk about. A little debrief from where we've been. Yeah, we've probably wasted about a week in the last month being away at stuff.
I'm just checking we're recording because last time we forgot to record.
Yeah, sorry.
If anyone listened to episode 8,
7, yeah,
the beginning 10 minutes of it, we forgot to press record. Sorry,
it was just the sound off
the GoPro.
GoPro.
It wasn't ideal. It was not ideal.
Yeah, but we're only humans. Sorry, everybody. Right, we are starting off with a debrief from the Royal Welsh. First time we'd ever been down there, so not gonna lie, quite an eye-opener. And the first thing I want to say is...
It's a long way away. Wales is a long way away.
Right, Why are there no motorways in Wales?
I know what is. Do you know what? There's no bloody. I've looked at. We've got a friend, Steve Evans, who lives at literally the bottom of Wales, like right at the bottom.
Can we do a shout out to Steve because he made sure we weren't homeless and like showed us around
And let us stay in his caravan.
Yeah.
Despite the fact we were going to pitch a tent, which would have been hilarious given the state of us by the end of it. But he did let us stay in his caravan, which is really good. Can you imagine us staying in caravans with people that we don't know? I mean, what the hell?
You're like, hello.
It is just the most unlike us thing in the world. Like to actually stay in the same space as like three other people that we didn't know. Well, I knew Steve, but the other guys we didn't know.
No, for me, it's the not showering before I go to bed. I don't know how we've never touched on this on the podcast because I am obsessive.
Never mind. You don't put conditioner in your hair ever. I'm sorry. I said this to I rang my mum and I was like, Mum, you'll never guess what? Rebecca doesn't put conditioner in her hair. And she said, oh, well, you know, she was a hairdresser.
Yes.
You know, some people who don't have any chemical dyes or anything on it, so they don't need to.
Well, that's it. I've never dyed my hair.
No.
Like, to be fair, I'm going to be honest. I can see a few split ends, but we're fine with that. The only person who cuts my hair is my mum.
Stop it.
Because we always say, oh, well, do you know what? It's long enough that if you get it wrong or a bit wonky, there's always a bit more to even it out.
Oh my God, that's absolute comedy.
The first foray into us cutting our hair, as in the girls in the family, was in COVID. And I remember my sister and I, we'd had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, yes.
And I was like, I just need my hair cutting. And my sister was like, I'll do
me
it.
too. Yeah, me too.
I'll do it. Then ever since then, we haven't been to the hairdressers.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
I cut my own
Absolutely
fringe.
Yeah. To be fair, you do quite a good job.
Yeah, but then sometimes I don't and I have to go into my mum's house and get her to fix it.
You know those videos where people pull out their hair like that and you know when they twist it
and then they cut it and it's really tall. I've got a picture of me having done that. I'll put it in. I look like, I don't know whether I look like a dominatrix or like some kind of strict,
I swear it's
strict,
kind of
awful
a fashion.
Head teacher, lesbian vibes, like just whatever it was, like hairy, like, yeah, just Labour voting lesbian, like honestly, just no, sorry, we're going off on a tangent, but yeah, whatever this picture is, that I will find it and put it in.
I've never seen it.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
I want to talk about how Welsh the Royal Welsh Show is, because people were just flickering into Welsh language conversations.
I'm
going to
learn Welsh.
I reckon it'll be quite difficult.
Gareth said you want me else to do it, and I'm like, do you know what? I might try.
I think it's really hard.
Because we don't have enough on.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to be bilingual. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to be. Do you speak any other languages?
No, I did French at GCSE.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what GCSE I got in French?
Go on.
A G.
It's a G.
Rebecca doesn't even know what a G is.
Well, how many? What does that mean in like marks?
Well, what did you get? A
star.
This is brilliant. So basically, a G is like, like in Harry Potter when they have like your wizarding owl.
Oh my gosh, your owls.
I'm the troll. Like, it is the worst you can get. Like, literally the worst you can get.
So does that mean you actually got any marks?
No, literally none. Like, honestly, I would have written my name. And to be honest, I probably spelled that wrong in French. And yet the children love it. Like, who are these children that have come out of me? I do not know.
No. Nothing to do with me.
Do you know what? Oh God, I don't know whether I just wasn't taught correctly or not. I'm not saying not correctly, but for my learning style, it's interesting. Anna does piano, and the piano teacher had said when she'd come back, she's really good, but she doesn't learn in the traditional way. And I went, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what is the traditional way?
What is the traditional way, and why does she not learn like that? But she's I listened to her piano last night. She's bloody brilliant. I'm so pleased with her. She's super, super good, and she's enjoying it. But that's do I learn in a very different way? And I just hate schools for that.
Yeah. I think probably now, having not got children, having not been involved in school or anything to do with it, I'm going to have an opinion on it. I think now there's a lot more awareness about different ways of learning, different approaches, children with all these different needs, etc. Whether schools actually have the resources to deliver it is
I don't think they do have any
question.
resources at all. That's the problem. So people aren't getting taught. But you can't tailor
No.
to every child. That's not possible. They don't have the budgets and they don't have the staff.
And in life, in your workplace,
people are not going to tailor everything to you.
No.
Like, look at me. Like, honestly, you cannot... for people that don't know us, you could not have two polar opposite people sat next to each other doing the same job, doing the same... honestly, like, Rebecca will have excelled academically from being young, definitely. I did not. I read...
Yes.
Couldn't keep up with me for reading, but that was getting lost in a fantasy kind of world.
That's interesting though, because I often say to people, I put down...
I couldn't tell the time until I was in year 8. And that was never... It wasn't, I couldn't tell the time. It was a case of we got into year 8 and we did a lesson on telling the time. And I remember not being able to do it and thinking, I don't understand. I don't get it.
The reading thing, though, I always put down doing well at school to reading because I basically read our library.
Yeah,
like it was, but that's genuinely...
Providing there was witches and wizards and, Terry Pratchett. But I was reading things that were beyond my... I want to say beyond my comprehension at that age. So I was reading Terry Pratchett and it was going over my head. I was reading the basics of it and not really picking up on the interesting, because he's such a clever man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think... Yeah, I would have just passed under the net.
This is slightly off topic. I mean, we've gone really quite off topic.
I know. Why are we talking about schools?
Extending
from the Welsh Show.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
I try and read on a night. Literally, I can only do about 2 or 3 pages, but I just try and read as opposed to scrolling on my phone. Anyway, I've been slogging away at this book for quite a while, and I just thought it's kind of just like a junky one, like no real meaning to it, like a good getting to sleep one. But I'm just not enjoying it. And my personality has been telling me, you have to finish it.
No. If I don't enjoy... This is the difference in us. If I don't enjoy it within the first chapter,
you're out.
I am out, gone, throw it.
Well, I saw a friend...
And I'll start another.
I saw a friend from uni.
Like, why are you doing it to yourself?
This is exactly what she said, and I've just had this epiphany. She was like, life's too short to read books you don't want to read. Oh my God, chuck it and read the next one. And I thought, oh my God, anyway, guess what? Last night... It? Start a new book.
Good for you.
I only read 3 pages of it, but...
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was just this weird, turning point. I know it's such a bloody trivial thing.
No.
It was just this turning point
it's
of why am I
It's a different personality,
yes.
isn't it?
Why am I because I just have this, I can't give up on it. I'm too... It's stubbornness, but it's also achieving this end thing of I set out to do it, so I have to do it.
You, in your life, though, achieve excellence, I think.
Not finishing a book is failure.
Yeah, and even down to that, your house is immaculate, despite the fact that you tell me it's filthy. It fucking is not. Come to mine. But we are so the opposite.
Yes.
Everything that you do it perfectly well, and you probably get wrecked when something goes wrong.
Oh, really interesting though. I know a lot of people would say, yeah, but striving for that excellence, that's so good, you're pushing yourself, whatever.
The pressure you put
it's
yourself
a curse
under, holy
to
shit.
some extent, because then nothing's ever good enough. Also, people around you...
Roy's like that.
Yeah, people around you in life who are doing their best, who are doing well, to me, I struggle with the...
They're a hindrance.
Yeah, but you gave it 95%, not 125%. So to me, they're not pulling that... It's this really kind of... it's a very specific mindset which isn't always good for kind of relations with other people.
And is your mum or dad like that? No.
No, but I think being a twin adds this level of competition where you do go down to specifics of...
We need to do an episode on twins because I think it's the most cruel affliction in the world for anyone to have. Roy's also a twin.
Yes.
And I have friends as well that are also twins, and I just, from the outside, I just think it is just the most awful thing to happen to two people. I really do.
People always think, oh my gosh, that's
Sorry,
so
Rosie,
cool.
love you lots.
Yeah, we do really.
No, but I do. I think it's really... everyone from the outside looks at it like it's so... you see 2 twin girls and you're like, oh my God, aren't they so cute? Look at them in their matching little dresses, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll go through Roy's toy boxes from when he was younger and there was two of everything. Two, Britain's tractors, 2, whatever they were, everything. There was bloody 2 of everything. And I just think it was just, it's setting people up when they're older, in Roy's specific case, that there needs to be 2 of everything. Yes. As a 38-year-old. Life doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that I don't like. I think it instills something in the back of your brain that if there isn't two of everything, or everything isn't the same, that it's wrong for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really interesting topic.
Yes.
I'd love like a psychologist's opinion on twins.
Rosie and I used to do this thing called TEDS, which was like twins early development study or something. And we did all these like, I need to look at, they stopped, you got like a voucher for, those love to shop vouchers.
Oh my God, if you got a voucher, I'm in.
Yeah. So
I'll pretend to have a twin.
So we used to, I'm going to look up what that, because you do the same tests of.
Oh, to see if you're both like.
Yeah. I'm going to look up
I always think being a twin, it's like a jigsaw piece. Like what you're missing, say for instance, Rosie gains.
Yes.
And what she's missing, you have.
Yeah,
and
so,
I think people think you're the same. You're not the same. You're not the same. And I've always thought, I have a friend, Ali, and I often would say to him, he does metal work and he borrows a post hammer and things. He's really lovely. And I'm like, he has a twin brother who doesn't live around here. And I'm like, you look nothing like him. He's like, really? And I'm like, honestly, I don't see it. And you see the relief on his face. He looks nothing like him.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank goodness I'm an individual person. Yeah, it's the...
And I wonder whether, like, do you see, if you saw Roy and his brother, would you think they look the same? Or do you have a sort of more in tune?
I think, even if I thought they were the absolute spitting image, which I don't think they are, there's a decent similarity.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think from this, like, empathy side of being a twin...
You go, oh no, you look nothing like each other.
You have the, oh yeah, well I can definitely tell a difference type thing. Like you kind of, oh, your phone's ringing.
I don't know who it is, so obviously I'm not going to answer it.
Maybe that's a good time to, now we've been interrupted by the phone. Should we get back to the
actual
matter in
brief?
Hand? We'll talk about twins another time.
No, I think it's a full episode. I think it's really interesting. We should get some twinsies on.
I was going to say, I wonder if any twins listen. If you're a twin who listens, can you send us a message if you want to give us your experience?
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully bad, because then it,
feeds into our narrative.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah,
seriously. I know a fair few. I'm going to ask them. I think it'd be really interesting to hear. We could do with like a standardised set of questions to ask.
Yeah,
separately.
and see what they're, that's
separately.
Very interesting.
We don't want you to call, like...
Right, we're doing a social experiment on twins.
Oh my God, can we? I mean, how... Like, I'm not being funny. How many twins do you know?
I actually don't know that many.
Do you know?
No.
I know, personally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of twins, all local to here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Forgive me if any twins I know listen to this and they're like, you've forgotten about me.
Oh, is your friend not a twin, though? Do you not have a friend who's a twin?
Yes. Yes, I do. Jazz.
Yeah.
She's a twin.
Oh. But isn't it funny how, like, I have literally surrounded myself with people who have,
It is.
A lookalike.
Something about us. I wanted to talk about with the Royal Welsh, the two sides to the show. Now, I don't know whether this is just because I had never been before, but one thing which stuck out to me is you have this, it is still kind of centred around that Welshness, that identity. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the Welsh cobs. Okay, so these horses are unbelievable. And usually at other shows I've seen, people who watch the horse showing and those classes are just horsey people in general. They don't necessarily bring in a massive audience. They're quite specific, it's a niche thing. The Welsh cobs, the grandstand and all around it was full to the brim. It was quite unbelievable. If you haven't seen these Welsh cobs, you need to watch them because they're quite...
they're
quite
nice,
something, aren't they?
They're bonny.
So anyway, you had that side where people are getting behind, this breed, all the rest of it, all quite civilised. And then, oh my gosh, you turn to the kind of, well, let's just say the nightlife scene. I don't know how
I
to
have
describe
never,
that.
so normally shows will, so say for instance you're at the Yorkshire or the Highland, it gets to 6 o'clock and you end up in a tent, like for instance we were in the tent with Cammy, weren't we, one year?
Yes.
You came out of the tent, like after having a few beverage jars, and the show was empty.
Yes.
And you are directed to the exit and people go.
And that's kind of that.
And that is empty. apart from the people that are obviously showing cattle, showing the sheep, and maybe
they
if
sleep there. Yeah.
The whole thing, the bars close. I mean, what time do the bars close?
Well, at the Yorkshire, the Black Sheep bar, is it 5 or is it 6?
That's what I mean. It's early doors.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, the bars were open to in the middle of the Welsh Showground. There's a pub in the middle.
It's unbelievable.
No, I am not casting aspersions that everyone in Wales likes a drink.
But I think everybody in Wales who likes a drink was
there. Like, it was hilarious. At one point, I could feel myself getting extremely silly.
You were so
like, I won't lie, Gareth Wyn Jones's son just brought out the worst in me because he's just so bloody good looking. But he knows it. And I was like, and then Steve was like, do you want another drink? I was like, no, I'll just have water, please. I think I'll just have water.
I was still going strong on the beers.
You were just, it was that people just kept feeding us.
Well, Jenny, I
think it was the worst crowd for drinking though, wasn't it? I'm not being funny, they were on it.
I can't convey how well we were looked after, genuinely. It was
the hospitality we received from friends of ours was unreal.
Yeah, it really
They were
was.
perfect gentlemen. They were absolutely good crack.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yes, it was different than the usual. I mean, let's compare it to the Yorkshire show because we were both at both,
Yes.
weren't we? The Yorkshire show, we went in the CLA tent.
Yes, we went to watch some talks and
We were all dressed, in our whatever, Holland and Cooper and Fairfax and Favours and all that jazz.
this is funny though, what you're about to come on to.
And then we went to the Royal Welsh. We got out of the car thinking we looked, quite, show-like, as you do. And Steve said, oh, you're going to have to get changed. And we both went, what? You're going to have to get changed. You look far too posh. And I was like literally wearing normal clothes. You were wearing linen shorts.
And a blouse. Yeah.
Like thinking, show attire. Absolutely not.
No.
So we ended up going around
Get
in
the shorts and
dealer
jumpers
boots,
on.
ridgeline shorts and a strappy top.
We blended right in.
But that's the thing, we did blend right in.
Yeah.
There was very few people wearing. No one was up themselves.
No. It was just a load of farmers, particularly young farmers, who genuinely treat it kind of as their holiday, dare I say. They get there for the week. They get camping in you say it.
Penmenau?
Charlotte did a video of trying to pronounce this blooming campsite
And
name.
there's me wanting to speak Welsh. Penmenau? Penmenau, I think it is. But Gareth Wyn Jones is an arsehole and told me it was called Penmenau.
Penmenau.
But then with a Lancashire accent, it's Penmenau. Let's go to Penmenau campsite.
There was a serious reason for going. We did do a panel at the campsite.
Penmenau, is it Penmenau? I can't remember anyway. That was the campsite that we were doing the panel discussion at.
Yes. Which was, really interesting. I think, to be honest, we could have talked for ages and ages.
It was definitely a different dynamic than any panel I've been on before.
Yes. Everybody getting on the beers, basically.
Yep.
Thing is, it's really hard to contend those serious topics which are inevitable to talk about when it comes to a farming panel. Contrasting that with everybody getting the beers in.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting, and I'm so glad we had a reason. I had to have a reason to go down because obviously you should be busy.
Away.
Yeah?
It's a long way away, and even on a train, it's 8.5 hours to Steve's house from here. Because he has a fishing lake. I was like, I should go and visit it. Me and Roy should go for a weekend.
Yes, yeah.
We'll get, Tom to look after the cows or whatever. Because we've not been on holiday. I've not been on holiday since, I want to say 2016.
Crazy, isn't it?
And the last time we went away was Spain. We went with Jane to Spain on a plane. But yeah, I just thought it might be not. Anyway, it takes a shorter amount of time to get to Spain, let's be honest.
But anyway, cracking time. Highly recommend going if you want a party.
Crack.
And to be fair, the other side of it, the other half, is some really brilliant stock. Showing looked very, very good.
It did feel different.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It wasn't necessarily, I don't know, it just felt like crack. It was fun. And I don't know whether it was just the people we were hanging around with. I know I sound like a teenager when I say that. But Gareth being dared to get in a hot tub.
Oh.
And, things that would not happen at the Yorkshire Show.
It just wouldn't. It was just hilarious. He was in his kind of home territory and
playing up to the cat. It was really funny. It was good crack.
Yes.
It was completely different to any show that I've been to, though.
Yeah.
I mean, completely different. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether you'd gone... I think the people we were with made it worthwhile going, to be honest. It was good fun, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And when we got dragged into the president's tent with ridgeline shorts on, I could have died.
Oh my gosh, everybody was... They were dressed up. We had gone the other extreme and I was like, oh, hello. Just hearing my ripped denim shorts hanging off me.
They were lovely though, weren't
they?
One of the guys had a yogurt company.
Yeah, really interesting people. One interesting thing before we move on to the next place we swaned off to, one thing that stood out to me that I remember somebody saying was farming and agriculture isn't an industry, it's a community with its own kind of cultures and values. And that, I don't know, I've got a post on my Instagram, I brought that into a post I've done because I just thought it was a really interesting concept to think of. Does industry almost dehumanise what we're doing in farming? But I think that's probably a question for another episode because we probably have gone on too long.
Well, I think as well, when you looked at the people that were there, I don't know the percentage of people that were, members of the general public touring the Welsh Show, or were they all farmers? Because I felt like there was a distinctly farming vibe about the clientele, should we say?
Yeah, and if you weren't directly farming, an extremely strong link to farming.
It just felt very authentic.
Yeah, it did.
Somehow.
It did.
But it was really good fun. We did mention about language. We should probably, because that was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, very much so. The regionality of who's a Welsh speaker.
Well, it wasn't just that. For instance, at one point I said to Steve, can you understand what they're saying? And Steve was like, nah, not a bit. And he's Welsh.
Yeah.
And he said, you can go down the road and
like 2 miles away,
and everyone's staunchly Welsh speaking, and then another 2 miles on, no one speaks Welsh.
Yeah,
which is really interesting.
It is. Yeah, do you know what? Actually, looking back, did learn really quite a lot, but in a different way to perhaps what you'd learn.
Well, someone had said to me when I'd mentioned the language, I said, "There's not a discernible word among it to me." Like if you speak French and German, you can kind of half pick it up, and you go, "Oh yeah, I can kind of get what you're saying." There is not even a sound that I recognise in Welsh language. It is so... I can understand why Gareth said, no, you won't be able to.
Yeah.
Because making your mouth make those sounds it's as alien as speaking Chinese to me.
Yes.
But someone had said, if you think that, we've descended in England from Europe, obviously our languages are kind of mirrored, whereas the Welsh is one of the oldest languages. Like, is it a Celtic language?
Is it? Yeah, probably.
I think so. And that's why it's a completely different vowel set to any other language that we're speaking in England.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Right, from the Welsh Show.
To us swanning off elsewhere.
We then went to the game fair.
2 days later. Oh my God, we're so naughty. Roy's going to kill me.
We do work. I promise we do some work. The thing is, these are working.
I have worked bloody hard in between to be able to go.
Oh my gosh, stop, I know.
Honestly, I am aching. I feel like I've been run over by a bus. Everything I do is at 100 miles an hour to try and keep up.
Yeah,
and
you
not feel guilty.
And
he's not bothered. Roy's, he's so good, and he really isn't. And don't get me wrong, like the game fair, I set off early, didn't I, on the same day.
Yes. We did it in a day trip so that we didn't have more time.
Yeah, and I drove back, and I did get back late at night, but it was good fun. We did what time did we set off back? 4ish. We stayed in the game fair till 4ish, didn't we?
Maybe a bit later, actually.
Yeah. Well, we did end up getting distracted with CF Moto, didn't we?
But that, I think for me, well, we were lucky enough to go, talking of outfits, we were dressed by Schöffel very kindly. Bit different to what we were wearing for the Royal Welsh.
Insert video picture here,
yes,
whatever.
Looking glamorous or trying to.
Yes.
Our very best. So that was brilliant. Met some interesting people on the...
Very interesting people, which I didn't expect. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
And did you see her post?
Yes, which was so Liv, who she works at, I hope she doesn't mind us mentioning her. She works at...
Sorry, Liv.
Yeah, at Chatsworth House. And effectively, she's doing stuff within textiles and materials, restoring, for example, tapestries within the collection.
Well, that was it. She'd sold me. Tell me everything.
Yes. I think that's one thing that did strike me about the game fair. And I know from the outside, a lot of people will say, oh, well, it's a load of posh people who just go shooting every weekend and walk around with their Labradors.
Do you know what we didn't do? We didn't go and look at the shooting.
No. Well, we didn't have time. We didn't end up having time. It was
Do you know what the game fair is for me? And I know it's something completely different. It is pest control. It is terriers. It's ratting. It's ferreting, pigeons. That is my game. That is my, my shooting.
Yes.
We don't shoot here. We have people that come and utilise the land.
Yes.
Crack on, hun.
Yeah.
You do you and enjoy. Like, that's fine. We don't have any guns.
Yeah.
It's not something we've ever had as a family. We've never shot. My dad used to do clay pigeon shooting, but that's about it. When he moved, he gave up his gun license, and then he sold the guns to my uncle, and he now uses he goes and still shoots. It's not something we do. However, I will set the dog on a rat. I am not against shooting in any way. It's just never been for me.
I think we will do an episode on game, eating game, shooting.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I eat game.
Yeah, delicious.
Bring me the game.
Delicious. Well, we were lucky enough to...
well cooked. There's a like, I'm not saying bring me a brace of pheasants to eat a breast of pheasant. No, I'm thinking pheasant and duck, like Scotch eggs.
Well, what we ate with the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust was...
superb.
Delicious.
I mean, if they want to send a recipe on, please feel free.
It was amazing. But I think on what you've just said... It's the breadth of people which makes it very interesting at something like that. And yes, of course, we were there, in our nice clothes and, living it up with a gin and tonic. But actually... nice gin. Very nice. We need to find out what that was, actually. It was delicious. But actually, it's people from literally the complete grassroots of shooting, the land, the conservation.
Yeah, the gamekeepers.
Yeah, all the way up to people who...
aristocracy.
That's
the point. That's
genuinely.
That's all I just love the different... It reminds me of a Land Rover. Someone once said to me, when you're driving a Defender, no one knows who's driving it. It could be Prince Philip or it could be the gamekeeper.
Yes.
And that's the bit I like about it, is that it transcends any kind of class system. And I enjoy that. I want to go personally and sit and watch someone make ferret nets. I love watching it.
Yes.
I just think it is like men's knitting. It's an art that is being slowly lost. And, there was a couple of guys on one of our fields. When you pull up at a junction, the field's like on a hill in front of you at Bolton Road Ends.
Yes.
Anyway, there was some guys in the hedge. They were from next door, so they were ferreting the hedge, but next door. Anyway, I walked over and I think they thought we were going to walk over and go, what are you doing? And obviously we didn't. And I went, I love ferrets. And he was like, do you want to hold one? And I'm like, yes. Will it bite me? He was
I've
like,
never
possibly.
held one before.
Oh my God.
They're like slinkies.
You can hold them and like, you do this and the body's just like, honestly, let's go and hold a ferret. If anyone's got a ferret and wants to come to my house so me and Rebecca can hold one, please do.
Please, can you bring it?
I do know someone with some.
Hold on. Can I just ask a question about ferrets?
They do smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stink. Don't get one. They really stink. So these guys were in the hedge, flushing rabbits out and whatnot. And there was a young little boy with them, probably about 8 or 9 years old. And I just, when you sit there and you go, this is it. This is. So like, and I'm like, where are you from? And they were all from, Middlesbrough, somewhere like that. Normal houses, normal back gardens. They had a couple of ferrets, and what they do for their fun, they literally go off.
Yes.
And they go ferreting. And I was like, I gave them a map. I pulled up Google Maps. I drew the map. I drew around all the boundaries.
Yes.
And I was like,
here, you can go here.
Come and see us. Like, literally, you would be doing us a favour.
Well, and I think that what people do sometimes who aren't involved in, I guess, anything to do with rural life, pest control is a vital part of what goes on.
We've had entire crops ruined by rabbits.
Yes. To look after the land, an element of pest control is absolutely vital. And I don't want to get into this too much because I did send you a video of what's the sandwich burrito? His El Burrito Monster or something on TikTok. And he'd gone out doing something with game, and I said, we need to talk about this because I'm sure, if I recall correctly, he did video the fact that he went out shooting to get the venison to come back and do his recipe. And I thought, that's really interesting because I would say he's a very mainstream content creator. and to incorporate that is vital. Deer have no real natural predators in this country,
We have a lot.
apart from cars. Basically, that's the only thing which is going to kill a deer. It's a
Such
highly
a shame we can't eat
skilled.
badgers because there's a lot around here.
Well, hold on.
Oh my God,
100%
that
is
the
another
Jeremy
episode.
Clarkson episode and the TB. Oh my God, I don't want to say I'm happy. Don't get me wrong on that, but what a platform. Like, we are in a hotspot. Well,
Next episode, let's talk
we
about it.
were in a hotspot area, and it is massive to me. And I now we're not in a hotspot area. I can freely talk about it. I think that's our next
Yes.
episode.
Okay, right.
So if you have, because this will go out in 2 days' time.
Yes.
If you have thoughts, experiences, negative or positive, if you're
Yes.
non-farming and you think it's barbaric, that not only I'm going to go the opposite way. If you think it's barbaric that, entire badger populations are left with a festering disease that basically pops their lungs, if you think that that's disgusting, get in touch. Or
Yes.
if you think it's absolutely awful that people
Abhorrent
control
that we do, that we
control the
them.
wildlife population, or do you have thoughts on whether or not people aren't controlling the deer population? They also carry it. Why are badgers getting the blame? Do you think wildlife trusts are in the right or the wrong? Are they
Yes.
extreme? Are they just money-making machines? Like, all of that I think we were going to cover. So if you've got any thoughts on
Yes.
that, send them in. And I know a lot of people that I will send that to personally,
Yes.
and I think they'll get in touch.
Absolutely.
Because I know people's entire farms have been shut down because of TB.
Horrendous. Absolutely. Well, with that in mind of a million different topics we're talking about for the next episode, twins, TB.
Twins and TB, stop it.
Oh, right. Well, we will be back in just a minute and we'll be talking about the UK's largest agricultural digital campaign.
What's your theme tune to go in the middle today?
Do, 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 do,
Spread it like do 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 do.
Sorry to put your ears through our singing. Be right back.
I love our interludes. I mean, I think they make it.
Right. Well, let's talk about Farm 24, Charlotte. It's happening in a couple of days.
Yeah.
2 days' time.
7th of August.
There's loads of stuff you can do, whether you're a farmer or not a farmer. But the campaign, how long has it been going now?
10 years I was a part of the first one.
10 years? Were you?
And I haven't done a video about it yet, and I think I should.
It's amazing.
I remember getting an email from a lady who doesn't work at Farmers Guardian anymore, 10 years ago. And I was, at that point, a gate opener, a girlfriend.
Yes.
I did have children. Yes, I did. She's 12. Obviously.
Sorry, Anna.
Sorry. I was still very much fresh into farming. I was not so sure of my place. I definitely didn't have the confidence I do now. I think that probably came, I'm going to say over COVID, maybe, when I just kind of got sick of being a walkover, pushover kind of thing. I'll put the video in here because it's kind of cute. It's very poor quality. I was part of the first ever Farm 24.
Hi, my name's Charlotte Ashley. We farm 120 suckler cows in the Eden Valley. On August the 20th, we'll probably be patching fences so these ladies don't make the Great Escape. Can you keep it up for 24 hours?
It's basically it's a campaign run by Farmers Guardian in conjunction with Morrison's, and it's trying to kickstart a conversation online about farming. The idea is that it starts at 5 a.m. on Thursday, the 7th of August, and runs for 24 hours to show what 24 hours in a farmer's shoes really looks like. And I guess the growth of the campaign has been unbelievable because farmers literally up and down the country get on board with it. They're showcasing, their lives on social media when perhaps they wouldn't particularly post online, but it's definitely something to create this kind of buzz.
Sort of flooding social media, isn't it?
Yes.
With images of farming in general, which is just brilliant.
Absolutely. We want to kick off with a voice note from Emily Ashworth. She's from Farmers Guardian, and then we'll be hearing from a few more of this year's ambassadors.
Hello everyone, My name is Emily Ashworth and I am the digital editor at Farmers Guardian. I just wanted to talk a little bit about 24 hours in farming, or hashtag Farm24 as everybody knows it more commonly. This year is its 10th anniversary and I have been at Farmers Guardian as long as 24 hours in farming has been running. I was there at the very first event and now I'm here on this celebratory anniversary. This campaign has grown and grown over the years, and to watch it flourish and quite frankly explode all over social media has been a real privilege and honour to be able to work on a campaign that really, really impacts the industry, but also impacts, wider society. This is what 24 Hours in Farming is all about. It's about showing the country the value of agriculture. Now, this year we do have a bit of a theme, which is building a healthy nation on British food. If we just rewind a little bit back to when earlier in the year, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said that inheritance tax funds will go towards helping things like bringing NHS waiting list down. Now, we work with multiple organisations, one being Love British Food, who work really hard on public procurement and getting British seasonal local foods into schools and into hospitals. One of their pilot studies found that by putting British seasonal food onto hospital menus, that patient stays came down by 1.7%. Now, this is something that I am particularly interested in because we live in a world of fast food, we live in a world of ultra-processed foods. We're all so busy, I totally understand that. But we need to put food back at the heart of our lives for the sake of our health, for the sake of British farmers, for the sake of those farmers who not only produce food, but alongside it and kind of, symbiotically look after the landscapes and nature and habitats. It all works together. If you go to, other countries, particularly in Europe, you can almost feel how food is everything. It's more family orientated. There's kind of a more sense of provenance when you go to shops and source your ingredients. We have the best farmers in the world. Our welfare standards are the highest they can be. Our environmental standards, top any other country. We have a chance on 24 Hours in Farming Day to really showcase everything that we do. And it's also a chance to kind of try and make an impact at government level with everything to do with, inheritance tax, the loss of subsidies, new environmental schemes. We need to show, public money for public goods. We need to show that inheritance tax will decimate farms, that even though they say it won't affect certain farms, it will. Without those farms, we're never going to be able to feed this nation properly and in a healthy, nutritious, sustainable way. I think the inheritance tax thing is really important because there's still that misconception about what it actually means in terms of, being cash rich and land rich. So this is our window of opportunity. It's also a chance for farmers just to stick their head up from what they're doing, because this is obviously, silly season, and actually come together, talk to each other. Farming is an isolated industry. This is a chance to connect and communicate not only with each other, but with those outside our industry. And I'm really, really, really proud to have helped lead this campaign over the last 10 years, and I really hope that you will join us.
Emily, thank you so much for sending that voice note in. A couple of things I want to just mention. I think the healthy, local, nutritious food is a massive thing. I do think we should do an episode on that, another one to add to the list, so I won't go into that too much, but I think what Emily said about the sense of perhaps community and togetherness that Farm 24 kind of brings is really, really important. As she says, farmers are in the thick of it, or many of us in harvest. We're up against so many of these challenges, and to have this I guess, common purpose is really, really important.
And it's fun as well.
It is, isn't it? And people genuinely get involved with it,
You know, a couple of years ago, I remember joining in. It was Appleby Show Day, weirdly, on the same day as Fam24. I don't know if that always happens, but I'd entered loads.
Yeah.
Like flower arranging, felting, all the rest of it. And I joined in with, hashtag Fam24. And when Farmer's Guardian actually reposted something of mine on their story, I got such a buzz from it.
It's
really
amazing,
did.
isn't
Like,
it?
don't get me wrong, I still do, even though they actually repost my things. But
yes,
it is good fun.
Absolutely.
To, think the immediate organisation.
Yes. And so we're talking about farmers getting involved up and down the country, but there are a group of ambassadors specifically chosen, I guess, to kind of lead with their content on social media, create the buzz, particularly in the run-up to the event as well. We're lucky enough to be part of that team of ambassadors this year. But as I said, we're going to hear from some of those ambassadors, maybe the reasons they're getting involved, and a few fun questions thrown in there as well. So firstly, we are going to hear from Amy Wilkinson. And we asked Amy, what's one farming myth that drives you mad? And what would you do to set the record straight? Also, I'm just going to say, I haven't listened to any of these on purpose.
I must admit, I've not. I've just heard the first. Oh, no, I did listen to Nigel Owens.
Oh, we could get him to ask his own question.
Yeah. I think we should. We asked Nigel to ask a question, and anyway, he read the question back to us instead of answering it.
Yeah, I perhaps probably didn't word it as well as I could have done. I haven't listened to these because I wanted the live reaction almost.
Yes.
So here we go. Let's hear from Amy.
Hello. I don't know if this is what you're looking for, and I'm sorry if there are any cows in the background or tractors. We're currently, I'm putting cobs on the milk machine, and we're currently whole cropping, sorry. But one thing that drives me mad is the idea that it's so impressive when a woman is driving any piece of machinery. And it kind of stuck out to me as well. I think Emily Clarkson said it about Harriet off Clarkson's farm. And it's no more impressive, and it really isn't. One of the easiest things you can do is have a job sitting on a tractor all day. I truly believe that.
Rebecca
and
disagrees.
It's not that impressive. What I've got going on in my pants doesn't really affect how well I can drive or what I can drive. I think it's also a bit of a barrier as well that, it must be so difficult. That's why it's so impressive when girls can do it. It must be so difficult. It's not. I can combine, I can cart forage with the lads, I can do all this stuff. I even write sometimes machinery stuff. And yeah, it's not that hard. And for any young girls who want to give it a go, just give it a go. Give it a go, and you'll probably break less stuff than the lads do, which is what I have found out. So, yeah. I hope that's okay.
I
Hello.
tend to agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not hard, I'm not saying it's not an attention-consuming job. But I get her point that with people portraying it as, oh wow, look, she's doing this, or she knows, or isn't her knowledge, good for a girl?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
It's the for a girl bit. Now I'm with you. I completely agree in that it is ridiculous that, oh wow, look at her doing it. You'd never say, oh, look at him doing it. But
doesn't he have a good knowledge base about tractors?
But what I would say is that by saying driving a tractor isn't hard, completely does a disservice to the people who are very skilled operators, male or female, who actually, let me guarantee, if we went down to the local town and got somebody to sit on that tractor and say, drive it and go and do that job.
Oh,
it's
no,
not
yeah,
as
no,
easy
I
as
completely,
that.
yeah, broad,
And
yeah.
I think actually, even just having to drive a piece of kit down the road, you can see that the way people react to you in their cars, that they would never be able to even drive it down the road.
You're joking, they can't drive a Nissan Micra, never mind a bloody tractor.
So I think to say driving tractors isn't hard.
I think in Amy's thought train, it's more. I don't think it wasn't that driving tractors is easy. It was more just because you're a girl. Yeah, that's that. Yes. I think that's what she meant.
Yes.
And I completely agree. Now, don't get me wrong. We've had the conversation about the lass from Clarkson's farm.
Yeah.
She came across so well, so well. We've said before, sorry, we've just had to close the door because we've got dogs, cats, children. It is summer holidays after all. And Roy's just driven a Merlot past and it was quite noisy. So we've said, Harriet, isn't it?
Yes.
She was great. She was really good. I think she just showed bashing on. I think she showed farming from a woman's perspective, how it should be. There was no, oh, look at me, I'm a woman and I'm doing this. It was more just like,
I'm doing it.
Yeah, why is it an issue?
Yeah.
Like, it's not. She made such a non-issue out of it. Now, the surrounding media and the press have been an entirely different story. And not only have they posted pictures of her sat on probably the one picture that they could find with short shorts on, sat on the bonnet of a tractor. And the Daily Mail have repeatedly used it, which I just think is an absolute disservice to the girl. You know, and I think the surrounding media has been, oh yes, isn't she wonderful for a girl? And I'm like, I think that's Amy's point.
Yes,
it's not for a girl. She's just cracking on.
Yeah.
She's just doing well.
Yeah.
Now, that by no means like saying her achievements aren't as good as a lad's, but you know, if a young lad had come on and said exactly the same thing, there wouldn't be articles written about him saying, oh, isn't he good for a boy?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a good knowledge base for a young boy?
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be a mentionable thing. And I think that's where we struggle sometimes between where's the line in look at me, I'm a strong, powerful woman farming and I'm happy to do so, happy to put myself out there, and caterwauling like a hairy feminist.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Amy. That was good. Let's hear from Frank from Leagate Farm. We asked Frank, why does Farm 24 really matter? Because I guess we're creating this conversation online, aren't we? There's, you know, we're all getting behind the Farm 24 hashtag. We're really supporting the campaign. But what does it mean, I guess, on this maybe deeper, wider level?
Hi, guys. Frank here. So after reading the question, why does Farm 24 really matter? We know it's all about creating a conversation online, but what about the wider message beyond the hashtags? I've had a bit of a think, and I would say that Farm 24 really matters just to help raise awareness and to both inspire new entrants and young farmers to carry on with trying to pursue their passions and to really push forward. There's so much to agriculture. It's not just on the ground farming livestock or growing crops. Like, agriculture encompasses such a vast spectrum and range of jobs, and it can be a really good place to just nurture talents and share knowledge and encourage people to do more, be more, better themselves, and really, like I say, push forward and enjoy their careers in agriculture and enjoy their lives.
I think that's actually a really nice wider element that he's brought in there, because for farmers down on the ground, yes, we understand connecting with consumers, showcasing our produce, but actually the next generation are absolutely vital.
They are. And also, I am constantly, bombarded with the negativities of farming every single day.
Yeah.
Whether that be, to be honest, your algorithm serves you, doesn't it? And mine are quite political.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite nice for us to be able to put the positive sides of what we do across. And it does make you realise, the nice things. Like the other day, me and Roy had a lady, Helen, from the BBC come round, and it was for BBC Radio Cumbria, and it's for, is it Farm Watch?
Yes.
Which is incidentally on the same day as Farm 24, which leads me to believe, no offence to the BBC, that you've just ripped off Farmers Guardian's idea. But fair enough, if you want to do that, you do that. But do you know what? From a farming perspective, the more out there on media on the day, the more effective any campaign will be, whether that be collaboratively or not. I mean, listen to me. I am on that fence. It's spiking me in the arse. But anyway, Helen came round, and Roy doesn't ordinarily speak to anybody at all. If you point a camera at him, he'll turn around on his heel and run in the opposite direction, or he'll say something. He
won't come on the podcast. We've tried.
Oh my God, I don't think we get him to shut up if we've got him on the podcast. He literally is. Roy has 3 conversations at the same time.
He sure does.
Rebecca can keep up with him. I pretend to keep up with him. Not many people can follow the conversation, or he'll go off on such a tangent that you don't really understand where the conversation's going until he comes back round to his point, and you go, yes, that makes sense now. And that's just how he works. Anyway, spoke to Helen, and she wanted us to do kind of a double piece for this Farm Watch and talk about who we are, where we come from, and it was the transition into dairy, how hard that's been, the costs of it, all the rest of it. And we talked away, and it kind of forced us both into that professionalism of not swearing at each other, which is quite nice and very unusual.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, it was like, oh, you do actually realise how far we've come, because they force you to vocalise how far you've come and, what you've overcome, and remind yourself, in your head, why we're doing what we're doing. And it was so her questions were so why jerseys? And you go, in the last year, we've forgotten why jerseys.
Yes. I think it's so interesting that you've said it's bringing that positivity to it, because incidentally, I had BBC Radio York come out to do their
for the
same thing, and mine was almost
copycats.
And mine was almost a day in the life type feature. And speaking to Hannah, the lady before, I said it's quite hard because I'm posting on social media and trying to create this idea that, the realities, I guess, showing the realities of farming. And I said, it's a bit shit at the moment, but I'm still trying to say farming's an amazing industry to be involved in.
Oh no, it's so hard work, isn't it?
And it's that balance. And I think it's the perspective of stepping back a bit and thinking, look what we have achieved, or look at the privileges or luxuries we do have. I mean, at the moment, our harvest is going pretty disastrously, but it's stepping back and being able to say, well, at least we can go back and have a nice meal. No, it's midnight and we've had it in the tractor cab, but you know what I mean? We can go back and we can have...
At least the sunsets are nice.
Yeah, I've got a couple of sunset posts, actually. They look quite cute. But yeah, it's that perspective which we don't always have the time to give ourselves until somebody from the outside comes onto the farm, or you have a conversation with somebody who did see your Farm 24 post,
and they'll go, oh, you're so lucky,
and it's quite
and you go, am I?
Yeah, it's really difficult.
And you are.
Yeah,
we are very, very fortunate to be in the position that we're in, and I think something like this forces us to reinforce that, which is nice.
Let's hear from Nigel Owens.
Nigel can ask his own question.
Everybody will have heard of Nigel Owens. I would say the best rugby referee of all time, complete legend.
Do you know what? I'm so sorry, Nigel, please don't hate me. I went to the Warrendale Wagyu conference a couple of years ago, and I didn't know who he was.
Charlotte.
I know. Listen, the only rugby player I know is Ilona Maher, because I quite honestly
because you're obsessed.
Literally fancy her. And married with 2 children, but let's not mention that bit. If Ilona Maher comes across, I am literally ditching the lot, the farm, the kids, gone. I am after her. And a lady called Maud, because we had a cow that was born with its ears all sucked, and it made them all shrivel up like little cauliflowers. And when the cows came, I asked YouTube what I should call this cow. And somebody came forward and said, you should call her Maud, because there was a famous rugby player called Maud who all her ears were all shriveled up because she'd
from being in the scrum.
I'm sorry. Why would you damage your ears?
Well, when you go down, head to head with everybody, all your ears are rubbing.
Yeah, but seriously, that's some serious damage to get ruined ears.
That's why you won't have your scrum half with cauliflower ears.
Oh.
Or your fly half Or your fullbacks?
I love how you actually know the names of these things.
Look, I've got a rugby he used to play rugby back in the day, rugby playing dad who has 2 daughters. We've got no option.
If it wasn't for my boobs, I think I'd love to play rugby. I think I'd be good at it.
Feral. I'd be ferocious.
I'd bite people's ears off. Like, honestly, I think I'd be awful. Like, I think I'd be too much.
You'd be there punching people.
No, I would. I'd get really
starting
cross.
fights.
No, I think I'd get really cross. Oh my God, should we do rugby? Like, I think it could be really funny.
You know when you think...
I don't think I'm that fast anymore, though. I think I've got slightly flabby and fat in my old age.
You know when you feel like a day on the sheep is quite hard work and you can feel it like 3 days afterwards?
Yeah.
I think rugby, if we played rugby, it would be another level. I think we'd be in a bad way.
Can you get like a boob brace? Like a cast? A boob-shaped cast? Sorry, Nigel. We're literally ruining your entire thing about talking about boobs and me fancying a loan of my heart.
Sorry, Nigel. We asked Nigel if farming were a sport and farmers were athletes, what event would farmers take gold in, and what would be a complete no-go? Which I thought was appropriate considering, sporty vibes.
Oh, you're good at this.
If farming was a sport and farmers were athletes, I reckon I would take a gold in patience. Because as a referee, I needed patience. And with the Herefords, I need patience. Whether that classes as an actual sport. But I think I'd be a gold standard at officiating the cattle in and out of the crush. What would wipe me out?
Sheep.
Chasing sheep and having to jump over hurdles or gates, because I could never do the hurdles. I always used to crash into them or over them. Now, thankfully, I haven't got any sheep, so I haven't been wiped out yet.
And sorry, what kind of a Welshman doesn't have sheep, Nigel?
That is brilliant, the prediction. Patience. Oh, he's so right. You really do.
Do you know what? Mine's run out over the last couple of years.
Has it?
And I felt it go. I used to have the patience of a saint. I really did. And then I don't know whether it's just getting older somehow. It's disappearing.
Well,
I'm so short right now.
I don't have much patience and...
No, you don't.
I can't get much less, actually. To be fair, though, it is interesting. Probably in life I don't have patience, but it's very interesting, surprisingly, with the sheep. But when I go and do stuff with the sheep, somewhere in the depths of me, I do find some patience somewhere. There's not a lot of it.
I think there's only... I have felt myself, like, literally, like, take that, where you go, right, just calm yourself down. Because, like, there's only sometimes something can, like, run past you.
Yeah,
before you
absolutely.
get really cross.
I know that feeling well. I know it well.
Like, your fly strike can't be that bad if you can run away from me that hard.
Yeah, you're not that lame, are you?
Yeah, balls to you. Die then.
Also, if somebody just tuned into that bit who hasn't worked with
We
sheep,
swear
they'll be
we're
like,
nice
why are you
farmers."
telling them to die? No, we're not actually telling them to die, okay?
In the context, do you have it? Like, honestly, you either know, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Finally, we are going to hear from Coco. And
Can I explain who she is? Because I love her.
Yes, go on.
So years and years ago on TikTok, this young farming girl arrived, and she was called Coco, which I just thought was the coolest name in the world. And I followed her just randomly. Followed her. She has a boyfriend who farms, and she goes to agricultural college. Good crack, bit of banter, the usual TikTok dances and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, Coco did a really simple video. I don't know if you'd have seen it because it was way back in the day. Yeah. And it was her on the tractor with a boyfriend. Nothing special, just a normal video. You wouldn't think anything of it. And I think actually I saw the video and scrolled past it. Yeah. Like, as in like just went, oh yeah, and carried on, thought nothing of it. And then the video kept reoccurring. And I'm thinking, why does this bloody video keep popping up? And then people started stitching the video. And I'm like, why? What's going on? Anyway, so I ended up reading the comments. Oh my God, the racism. Like, I'm not even joking. As in, like, non-excusable, fireable offences.
Really?
Like, oh, I can't even read you some of they were horrendous. And I'm going to say it, when I looked into it, the majority of them were Irish. There, I said it. Who cares? If you go and look at the video, which is still up, you will come to the same conclusion, which is just young Irish lads who were farming. And you can go and look.
This is it. It's from within the industry, which is...
Yeah, it was.
Is
and it was all centred
disappointing
around,
at best. But...
oh, look, he's got himself a cotton picker. Basically, that was the vibe. So that's all you need to say. And it went... The more negativity, the more it went viral. God, she coped with it well. She would cope with it.
And how old are we? Young? Like how old is
She's at uni.
So she'll be like
She's
probably like 18.
No, she's at college. She's younger.
So how old
she's
when this video came out?
Oh, was 16, 17, something like that.
Really?
I mean, really, really young girl. Like, but it was just so far stretched and uncalled for, but relentless. And I mean, and I know this is, and I mention this. She wouldn't mention it. Because she's not one of those people that this isn't a defining moment in her life. This isn't what she'd want to define her.
Which is amazing because a lot of people would play the victim for the rest of their life.
She is no victim.
Yeah.
She's good fun. She's really, really good fun. Anyway, I contacted her at the time and I said, I'm so effing sorry that you're having to put up with this. And she's like, oh, don't worry. I've heard it all before. And I'm like,
how sad that she's heard it all before.
Yeah, but it was, honestly, Rebecca, the level of like depravity, it was unreal. Anyway, obviously this became a comment section battle.
Yeah.
And people were going and finding young farmers that were commenting from, wherever in the UK. And they were contacting the young farmers groups and saying, by the way, this is one of your members.
Really?
And they were all being held accountable. And then afterwards, she's done a video and she said a lot of them had come forward who were obviously terrified of getting caught out.
Yes.
And had said, I'm really sorry, I was being silly, didn't mean to do it, blah, blah, blah. Not any excuse in my book, but whatever. No. She's obviously got the good grace to let that go. Yes. I wouldn't have the good grace to let that go,
I know
to be perfectly honest. But yeah, she coped with it so well. And that was one of the first moments where I really noticed her. Anyway, when Emily was doing... Do you remember our cover for the Farmer's Guardian?
Yes, yeah.
Me and Rebecca did
Cover girls.
Yeah, cover girls on the Farmer's Guardian. And it was before the podcast, long time before the podcast is even thought of, really.
Yeah.
And we did a farm... No, it wasn't a Farm 24 one. It was a Farmer's Guardian, the FG podcast.
It was a bit like almost not powerful women, but women who were just making their mark, I guess, just doing their own thing.
So that
farming.
was... Me and you were basically we can do it fast.
Yeah.
The idea was in the long run wanted to be powerful women, as in like Joni Bomford, all these people like Minette Batters. It was incredibly powerful. Joyce Campbell like me and Emily were talking about, because I was like, I really want to do this, like loads of powerful women. It's going to be amazing. Get Liv on the cover, you on the cover, that kind of thing. All of these amazing, powerful women stood together, different ages, colour, creed, age didn't matter, locality didn't matter, and it was anyway, it was a logistical nightmare. Wouldn't have been able to pull people together in time, so it ended up being me and you. I put Coco forward and said, right, this girl, ignore the fact of this video. Can we just take this video out of it? She's a young farmer. She's good fun. She's passionate about the industry. She's fairly open about the fact she did not do well in school.
Yeah.
She was a bit of a live wire from what she describes.
Yes.
Couldn't basically hold her down, but had a serious passion for farming. And that's the bit I like about her.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a really long-winded way to introduce to introduce the girl. But yeah, this is Coco.
We wanted to hear about basically what she does to get through that farming day. Like, what are those things, her go-tos? So let's hear from her.
My ritual necessity is I need a good pair of socks, always. Breathable socks. If I wear fluffy socks, it's not a good day. And I always have to get warm food, especially in the winter. In the summer, I'm not too fussed, I'll just have snacks of the day. But when it is winter and I'm working with sheep, with my partner, I have to have a warm meal. That's a McDonald's, a KFC, stuff like that, because we don't necessarily work on one farm side. We're checking sheep all over. So yeah, I always need a warm meal.
I'm so here for those two things. She's actually
Isn't
right.
it funny as well how the youth of today speaks so fast?
Yeah, she does actually. I think I speak quite fast though.
I don't think we do. I think you speak a lot more eloquently than me, more pronounced. but the youth, like, it reminds me of Anna. They just speak so, like, they speak so fast with a slight, maybe upturn at the end of the sentences. So, like, KFC. They're so young and cute, aren't they?
Do you know what when Coco said fluffy socks, I'm envisaging these bed socks that I have.
Oh my God, stop,
which
it,
have
sweat.
like ears on them. They have like little animals. I know I'm 30, so yeah, I do still have fluffy bed socks. They have ears on them and little like animal faces. And I'm thinking, imagine if you got those in like a pair of wellies and those ears would just be like...
And this is a shameless plug, but the Ridgeline merino socks, for anyone listening, are superb.
Yeah, they are. I am with you. But the problem is, this is what I'm like. I only wear those for special occasions. I don't wear them every day farming because I'm
Are you joking? Yeah. No, I've got over that now. I literally wear everything. Like everything. Steve had sent I've got some boots this morning, yet to open them. We've just opened them in the kitchen. And I was like, oh, they're that nice. I don't know if I can farm in them.
Yeah, I can't wear them in the shit. I can't.
No, I don't think I can wear them in the shit. But he's going to need videos of them, so I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to.
I'm going to have to walk up a fell or something.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
We can do that.
Not in that shed.
Not in actual cow shit. Not a chance. You could work sheep in them.
Yeah, but I think sheep shit does that dries on solid as well.
And it stinks.
Well, Coco, thank you so much for that. I'm with you on the socks and I'm with you on the food as well. Having sat in the cab for the last however many days eating...
Salad.
Yeah.
Did you eat salad?
Day after day. Same meal after same meal.
I wanted to. Can we do like a little introduction thing every week? Like, what are you listening to? I know it sounds really silly.
Yeah.
Because it's a conversation we actually do have.
Yes.
You have been stuck in a tractor cab. What on earth are you doing to pass your time?
So, I have been listening to a podcast called The Teacher's Pet.
That sounds apt.
I mean, it is a...
I'll listen to one called ADHD and Detention.
I mean, I'm not going to give it all away, but it is about child sexual exploitation and a murder. But
that is not what I was expecting.
It's in Australia. It is fascinating.
Oh.
Really interesting. I've just listened to one about... These are all quite like dark ones about hostages in kind of like journalist hostages.
We ended up talking about beheading, didn't we? That was awful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's probably why you.
Yes, that was last time. But this one is interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. Not finished yet. So.
Oh, that's good.
But I never really used to listen to podcasts. Literally until the last month or two.
I never found...
Until the J.K. Rowling one, which you suggested.
God, that was good.
That was good.
I think I'm into more like true crime podcasts.
Well, this is true crime, really.
I listened to Cammie's Fed by Farmers podcast the other day with the auctioneer from Carlisle.
Oh, yes.
That was good.
Yes.
And they were talking about blue tongue and movement restrictions and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was interesting just because it was relevant to me.
Yes.
That was quite good. The J.K. Rowling one, though, I could not get over it.
Oh.
So good.
Brilliant.
So good. So
such a different perspective on what I saw Harry Potter to be and the books, and I didn't realise there was such a... Because I guess, well, when did they actually come out? When did the first one come out?
Oh, God, Rebecca, I queued up for them.
Stop.
Yeah. I am so upset that you never got to experience the joy of a brand new book coming out and being the first person to read that book. So I would be year 5, year 5, 6, and then onwards every couple of years. But like the last books, I'm sure I would have been, year 11 or something. Like I would have been, they did span a fair few years when they came out. But I remember like one of the very last book and queuing, I ordered it from Sainsbury's. I don't know why. The other ones I'd ordered from Waterstones and done the whole queuing up thing. But this time my dad was like, I'm not taking you into Preston Town Centre, it'll be bloody busy. So I ordered it from Sainsbury's. And I went, not in the morning when it opened, because obviously it was mental. I went later on.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Like, but also that shows now it would be people queuing up for, I don't know, the new Xbox game. I don't know what people play.
It was
but
so
you know what I mean? Like, queuing up for a book, I can't quite get over...
The joy of going and getting that book. Honestly, I am gutted that the kids will never be able to. And times have changed so much now They won't get to experience that.
No.
There will be nothing that ever compares.
I think what's clever about the books, though, is that because obviously Rufus has just started reading them.
He's on page 18.
But what's interesting about it is that he's probably the right age to almost be Harry Potter age.
Yeah, I was.
So he can follow that through as though he's
I know.
growing. It's fascinating, really.
It is, honestly. But like, hypothetic, if we totally out in us, if we go anywhere, like we both listen to Harry Potter to go to sleep.
It's amazing. I love it. Anyway, I'm really sorry, everybody. This has been quite a...
I'm going to say it's probably over an hour.
Yeah, it's going to be over an hour. We've been in quite a lot of different directions, I'm going to say. Quite a varied conversation. And this is a toned down version for
sporadic.
So you can imagine what happens if Charlotte and I just have a complete free-for-all conversation.
Well, you think that you'd get bored in a car for 5 hours, but actually we somehow managed to talk the whole way.
The whole time. Yeah, quite impressive. But before we go, I am just going to say Thursday, the 7th of August, Farm 24. Get involved. We'll put the handles of the ambassadors we've heard from, so follow along with them. See what they get up to, and you can actually download your own pack online. Whether there'll be time to get it out to you before Farm 24 at this stage, I would say perhaps not, but you can still go and get all the info online.
I think you can just print off the
card.
The card. I think, and you can, and that's the thing I didn't realise a couple of years ago. You can just print them off and use them to stand and pledge your allegiance to farming.
Yes.
You don't need to be sent one. You can print it off.
Tag us in any bits and bobs that you post if you want. We're more than happy to spread the word far and wide.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much for listening. That was...
deep breath.
That was interesting. Do you want a brew?
I think I need something stronger.
Gin. Oh, where's that gin from?
We need to look it up.
Right, let's go and research.
Right, we're going for a gin. It's midday.
Bye.